Have you ever stopped to think about what it really means to unite with another person in marriage? Imagine, for a moment, that this decision is not just about love, but about a commitment that will shape your entire life. Before taking this step, there are crucial questions that need to be asked. Do you and your partner share the same faith? How do you deal with conflicts? Is the love you feel genuine? These questions are not just details, they are the foundation of a solid and lasting union. Let's explore together these issues that can change your perspective on marriage. Think of it as a boat. If each one rows in opposite directions, the effort is in vain. Spiritual harmony is essential to move forward. And who said that true love is easy? It demands daily choices, patience, and, above all, understanding. When you look into your partner's eyes, can you see a future built on respect and faith? Or are there doubts that need to be confronted? Let's uncover this journey together and discover how these principles can transform the way you see love and commitment. Get ready to reflect. The importance of spiritual alliance. When I think about the importance of spiritual alliance in a relationship, the idea that sharing the same faith and principles is like building a solid foundation for a building immediately comes to mind. I remember moments when I talked to friends about their relationship experiences. Those who had a common spiritual base seemed to have a deeper connection. It's as if faith worked like glue, binding not only hearts but also souls. In 2 Corinthians 6 verse 14, we find guidance about not being unequally yoked. This makes me reflect on how crucial it is to choose a partner who understands and values the same spirituality. I believe that common spirituality brings a shared sense of purpose. When partners are aligned in their beliefs, they can face life's challenges with a similar perspective, which undoubtedly makes overcoming obstacles easier. I've seen couples who, even in the face of difficulties, found strength in their shared faith. It's as if each one could rely on the other, knowing that both have a greater purpose guiding their actions. This makes the journey lighter and full of hope. Moreover, the spiritual alliance also enriches moments of joy and celebration. When we celebrate achievements or even small victories, it makes all the difference to know that both are thanking and recognizing the divine hand in their lives. These moments of shared gratitude create memories that become emotional treasures over time. There is nothing more beautiful than experiencing the joy of a special moment with someone who sees the world through the same spiritual lens. On the other hand, the lack of a spiritual alliance can generate misunderstandings and conflicts. I remember a friend who married someone with very different beliefs. Although there was love, the absence of a common spiritual base eventually became a significant obstacle. Decisions on important issues, such as raising children, became a source of tension. This taught me that even if love is strong, the lack of spiritual alignment can create fissures that are difficult to repair. Reflecting on the importance of spiritual alliance, I realized that this union is not just about sharing beliefs, but also about building a life together, guided by a greater purpose. It is knowing that, regardless of circumstances, both are committed to the same principles and values, ready to face whatever comes ahead, hand in hand. Altruistic and genuine love. In my personal journey, I've learned that true love is, above all, altruistic. Looking at 1 Corinthians 13 verses 4 to 7, I realized that love is not just a feeling but a daily choice. It's about how we act and behave toward the other. I remember a time when, after a tiring day, I prepared a simple surprise for my partner. The smile on her face when she saw the small gesture made me realize that, often, it is the small actions that demonstrate genuine love. Altruistic love manifests in moments of sacrifice. I've been through situations where I had to put the other's needs ahead of my own. This doesn't mean I neglected my own needs, but I learned to balance them with those of my partner. This exchange is fundamental for a healthy relationship. I talked to a friend who always strives to support his wife in her professional ambitions, even if it means giving up some of his own aspirations. This exemplifies how true love translates into concrete actions. Moreover, genuine love is patient and respectful. I remember challenging moments where, instead of reacting impulsively, I chose to listen and understand the other's point of view. This patience creates a safe space where both can express their feelings. It's impressive how a simple act of listening can strengthen the connection between two people. When we feel heard and understood, love solidifies and deepens. Another aspect of altruistic love is the ability to forgive. We all make mistakes, and it's essential to cultivate a spirit of forgiveness in a relationship. I've faced situations where a poorly chosen word could have caused great damage, but by choosing forgiveness, I was able to turn a potential conflict into an opportunity for growth. Genuine love teaches us that to err is human, but to learn and forgive is divine. Altruistic and genuine love demands a continuous commitment. It's not something that just happens, it's a daily practice. Over the years, I've realized that the more I strive to love altruistically, the deeper my relationship becomes. It's a constant dance of giving and receiving, where both partners feel valued and loved. This is the essence of true love, and I am grateful to be able to experience it. Alignment of goals and values. When it comes to relationships, the alignment of goals and values is an issue we cannot ignore. I remember a deep conversation with a friend who was about to get married. He and his fiancée spent hours discussing their life goals, from careers to the desire to have children. This made me realize that it is vital for couples to sit down and discuss what each expects from the future. In Amos 3 verse 3, we are reminded that two people cannot walk together unless they are agreed. This truth resonates in every aspect of the relationship. I believe that the lack of alignment in goals can lead to significant disagreements. I've seen couples who, at first, were in love and dazzled, but who, over time, began to realize that their goals were diametrically opposed. One wanted to travel the world, while the other dreamed of settling in a fixed home. This divergence not only created tensions but also led to growing dissatisfaction. It's a reminder that love, though powerful, is not enough to overcome fundamental differences in life goals. Talking about values is also essential. What is important to each person? What principles guide our choices? Reflecting on these points, I realize that many couples don't realize the importance of these conversations until a conflict arises. When we openly discuss our values, we create a space to better understand each other. I remember a discussion where my partner and I talked about the importance of family in our lives. This conversation not only strengthened our relationship but also helped us align our expectations for the future. Another important point is flexibility. Sometimes, over time, our goals and values may change. It's essential that there is a willingness to reevaluate and adjust expectations together. I remember a phase when my career demanded a lot from me, and this affected the time I could dedicate to the relationship. Discussing openly how this affected us was crucial. This communication allowed us to adapt our goals and find a middle ground that worked for both of us. This alignment of goals and values is one of the pillars that sustain a healthy relationship. By sharing dreams and aspirations, we create a solid foundation to face life's challenges together. Open communication and the willingness to adjust expectations are essential to keeping this harmony alive. Looking to the future, I feel that the more aligned we are, the stronger our union will be. Mutual growth and evolution. When I think about mutual growth and evolution in a relationship, I can't help but remember the various stages I went through alongside my partner. At the beginning, we were just two young dreamers, full of ideas and plans. Over time, however, I realized that love goes beyond moments of happiness. It requires us to be willing to face challenges together. Philippians 3 verses 13 to 14 speaks of leaving behind what is behind and moving forward to what is ahead, and this is essential in a relationship. Learning to grow and evolve together means being open to what life presents to us. One of the most remarkable experiences we had was when we decided to move to another city for a new job opportunity. The adaptation process was challenging but also very enriching. Instead of letting ourselves be overwhelmed by difficulties, we chose to support each other. This not only strengthened our bond but also made us realize that each challenge is a chance to learn, an opportunity to become better versions of ourselves. The deep conversations we had about our fears and expectations were fundamental to this evolution. It's curious how difficulties can unite people. I remember a phase when we faced a financial crisis. The stress was through the roof, but instead of blaming each other, we decided to face the situation as a team. We created a plan, discussed each step, and, above all, learned to be more grateful for the small things. This experience taught us that growth is not a linear path, it is full of ups and downs. Every challenge we overcame together only made us stronger. Moreover, mutual growth involves supporting the other's dreams. When my partner decided to go back to school, I knew it would require extra effort from both of us. But I didn't hesitate to help her, organizing our routine so she could dedicate herself to her studies. Seeing the sparkle in her eyes as she achieved her goals made me realize that, in a relationship, one success is the success of both. It's a continuous cycle of encouragement and support that leads us to evolve together. Mutual growth and evolution are integral parts of a healthy relationship. Being willing to learn from mistakes, celebrate victories, and face challenges hand in hand is what truly shapes our story. With every new phase we go through, I feel like we are building something solid and lasting, and that is indescribable. This journey is not just about what we achieve but about how we become better people along the way. Constructive conflict management. It is impossible to be in a relationship and not have disagreements. What really matters is how we handle these conflicts. From the beginning, I learned that constructive conflict management is essential to maintaining harmony between us. James 1 verse 19 reminds us of the importance of listening and being patient, and this lesson has become a mantra in our daily communication. When a discussion starts, it's easy to let emotions take over, but we have worked to reverse this logic. One approach we've adopted is never to argue in moments of anger. When emotions are running high, it's almost impossible to think clearly. That's why when we notice the conversation is heating up, we choose to step back. Sometimes, it's necessary to take time to reflect on what is really bothering us. This space is not a sign of weakness but a demonstration of respect for each other and for the relationship. When we come together again, we are already calmer and ready for a productive conversation. Another strategy that we found effective is the practice of active listening. Whenever one of us expresses a concern, the other commits to listening without interruptions. This means setting aside one's own opinions momentarily and really trying to understand the partner's point of view. This practice has been revolutionary. Many times, what seemed like a big problem turns into a misunderstanding that can be easily resolved. Empathy becomes the key to resolving conflicts. Additionally, we have learned to value our differences. Each of us brings a unique background to the relationship, and this is something we should celebrate, not fear. When we have differing opinions, instead of seeing it as a problem, we try to find common ground. This approach not only resolves the current situation but also teaches us to respect each other's opinions, strengthening our connection. The practice of forgiveness is fundamental in any relationship. We are not perfect, and mistakes will happen. When one of us makes a mistake, the other needs to be willing to forgive and move on. This doesn't mean forgetting, but rather learning and growing from the experience. Constructive conflict management is not just about solving problems but also about building a stronger and more resilient relationship with each obstacle we overcome. Respect for individuality. Respect for individuality is an essential pillar in any healthy relationship. Learning to value the ambitions and dreams of the other is something that has been fundamental for us. It is easy to get lost in a relationship and forget who we are as individuals. However, in Ephesians 5 verse 33, the importance of mutual respect is clearly highlighted, and this is a lesson we take seriously. Each of us has our own interests, passions, and goals, and this should be celebrated, not stifled. One way we've found to ensure our individualities are respected is by dedicating time to our own activities. While one of us is involved in a work project, the other can take the time to pursue a hobby or meet up with friends. This healthy separation allows us to recharge and return to the relationship with new stories and experiences. It also prevents us from feeling overwhelmed by each other's expectations. Respect for individuality is also reflected in our daily decisions. For example, when my partner decided to take a solo trip, at first, I was apprehensive. But when I stopped to think, I realized that this was an incredible opportunity for her to get to know herself better and grow as a person. So, instead of imposing restrictions, I chose to support her. This decision not only strengthened her but also made me realize that when one of us shines, we all win. Communication is another tool we use to respect our individualities. We talk openly about our desires and needs, and this allows us to better understand the space each one requires. Sometimes, this means having difficult discussions, but it's a small price to pay for a relationship where both feel valued. Dialogue is the path to mutual respect that goes beyond words, it transforms into actions. Additionally, valuing the other as an individual helps us grow together. When one of us reaches a personal goal, we celebrate together. This exchange of experiences is enriching and brings us even closer because we understand that, even though we are distinct, we are together on this journey called life. Respect for individuality is not just a matter of space but a form of love that strengthens our union and makes us more complete as a couple. Centrality of God in the relationship. When I look at the trajectory of my marriage, I realize that the presence of God has always been an essential pillar. It's as if He is the glue that holds everything together, especially in challenging moments. In Ecclesiastes 4 verse 12, the metaphor of the threefold cord resonates deeply with me. A couple can be strong, but when God is in the middle, the strength multiplies. It is this divine presence that gives us security and helps us face life's storms together. In moments of doubt, it's comforting to know that we have a higher power guiding us. The daily practice of putting God at the center of our relationship manifests in small actions. We started praying together, not only at meals but also in moments of important decisions or even in moments of gratitude. These prayers have become a sacred ritual that connects us on a deeper level. It's almost as if we are building an altar in our home where we can place our fears, longings, and joys. This communion makes us feel that we are not alone and that our challenges are shared with a being who loves us unconditionally. Furthermore, when we face disagreements, it is our faith that prevents us from losing control. Instead of letting anger and pride drive us apart, we remember God's promises and the love He has for us. It's as if we are constantly reminded that our love must reflect divine love, patient, kind, and forgiving. Every time we manage to resolve a conflict, I feel that we are not only strengthening our relationship but also our connection with God. The importance of attending church together cannot be underestimated. The faith community provides us with support and encouragement. By being surrounded by other couples seeking the same divine guidance, we are inspired to keep our eyes on God. Sermons, Bible studies, and even moments of worship together help us reinforce this divine centrality in our lives. Spiritual growth is palpable, and this reflects in our life as a couple. I am certain that the centrality of God in our relationship is not just an ideal but a daily practice. Each of us brings our own struggles and challenges, but when we hand these issues over to God, we feel we are on a safer path. He is not just a spectator, He is our guide, our counselor, and, above all, our greatest love. We know that with God at the center, we can face any challenge together. Communication and forgiveness practices. When it comes to relationships, communication is the key to maintaining harmony. I am a true advocate of open communication, especially in my marriage. Over the years, I've learned that it's not enough just to talk, it's necessary to listen with attention and empathy. The practice of honest and transparent conversations has allowed us to express our needs and desires without fear of being judged. This becomes even more significant when we consider what is written in Colossians 3 verse 13, which reminds us of the importance of forgiveness. After all, we are imperfect beings, and inevitably, we will make mistakes. One of our greatest challenges was learning how to communicate our frustrations. At first, we tended to keep everything to ourselves, which often resulted in unnecessary misunderstandings. Over time, we realized that the best approach was to express how we felt, even if it was uncomfortable. This not only relieved the tension between us but also brought us closer. By sharing our vulnerabilities, we created a safe space where both of us feel comfortable being who we really are. Forgiveness is another fundamental aspect we've learned to cultivate. It's not just about saying, "It's okay," and moving on, but about truly letting go of the hurt. I've learned that forgiveness is an act of love and freedom. When we forgive, we not only free the other person but also ourselves from the burden of resentment. This understanding transformed our interactions, allowing each disagreement to become an opportunity for growth and strengthening our bond. One exercise we adopted was the truth moment, where we set aside time to openly discuss what's bothering us. This practice helped us not let problems accumulate. We created an environment where both of us feel comfortable sharing our concerns and, more importantly, forgiving each other. At the end of each conversation, we feel relieved and more connected. What could have been a source of conflict turned into an opportunity to deepen our love. Communication and forgiveness are practices that require continuous effort. It's not something you achieve once and forget, it's a daily commitment we make to each other. Over time, I've realized that this dedication has been rewarding. Not only do we have a healthier relationship, but we also have a deeper friendship. Every sincere conversation and every act of forgiveness becomes a brick in the construction of our life together, making it more robust and full of love. Now that we've explored these essential questions, it's time to reflect on how you can apply these principles to your own life. Think about how each of these questions connects with your experiences and desires. Have you ever stopped to talk with your partner about these reflections? This conversation may be the key to strengthening the relationship and aligning your expectations. Imagine the transformation that can occur when both of you commit to putting God at the center of your union. Praying together, reading the scriptures, and supporting each other create a bond that goes beyond the physical. How can you cultivate this shared spirituality in your daily life? And remember, every challenge is an opportunity for growth. When facing difficulties, you and your partner can support and grow together. What challenges have you been facing, and how can you approach them constructively? The journey of marriage is continuous and full of learning. How can you commit to nurturing this love daily? As you reflect on this, be open to the changes and new learnings that will come. Share your experiences in the comments. Let's build together a space of love, faith, and support. Until next time.